Hey, this is a video for teachers, just briefly on a bit of maybe Google Meet etiquette as far as what we can possibly do to help make things run a bit smoothly when you start meeting with students. I know some of you already have. I'm in the area that if you watch the video that Tony sent out a few days ago, this is where you would start. So I'm in Google Calendar. I would click on whatever time it is that I want to set up my Google Meet. And so if I'm wanting to do a practice or whatever it is, if I set mine for, let's say, 4 o'clock, and maybe my end time is 4:30, I would add my guest here. So this is where I would add whoever it is that I want to do, just a quick review from the other day. And then remember, I click where it says add rooms, location, or conferencing, and I'm going to put add conferencing. And if I click here to more options, it'll show where it takes off the ability for, I don't want my guests to be able to invite others, so I'm taking that off. You can let them invite others. I just don't want that to happen. So I'm going to hit save here. And if I want it to send an invitation, I can. If I don't, then I'm going to say no for this one. All right. Then once you have your meeting set up and you're ready to meet, remember, in order to get to a meeting, you can just open up a new tab if you like. You can go to Google, go to your Google Apps, and go to Meet. All right, so there's my practice meeting that I had set up. What I'm recommending for teachers is you need to be in there 10 minutes earlier than what you set your time as. So for example, if you're supposed to be starting at 4, then you want to be in there at 3:50. That's because you want to be in there prior to your kids get in there. And I'm going to make another video telling the kids to get in for etiquette purposes 5 minutes early, just to play around and make sure it's how they want and make sure they can get in okay. So I'm telling teachers to get in 10 minutes early. So if I'm going to go ahead and get in, that way I can beat all the other kiddos in. And this pops up. We talked about this the other day. My camera's starting. I'm going to click join now. No one else is here yet, which is good. I'm going to move my screen just a bit. Okay, so here, as far as teachers, just so you have a little bit of kind of notice, this emblem up here tells you how many people are in your Google Meet. This is your chat box. So I'm going to talk to the children or the students about the chat box and what we want to use this for. But I wanted you to know that's where it is. If I want it gone, I'm just going to click over here. If you're having a hard time understanding kids, what you might want to do is turn on captions, because if you turn on captions, then I can see what it is that I am saying and what everybody else is saying. This captions button works for me, but if anybody else wants captions as students, then they would need to turn it on themselves. I don't know that there's a reason why they would need it. I just think for me as a teacher, it might help for me to be able to understand. If you don't want the captions, turn it off. These 3 buttons down here show your different modes that you can look on things. Let me move myself over. Show your different modes so you can change the layout. That's kind of up to you how you want to do it. I kind of like the sidebar where it puts me in the middle and it puts any of my guests over here on the right, but that's what that button does. This is why we're telling students to get in 5 minutes early, because we want them to be able to play around with this type of stuff before you're ready to start. One of the more important things that you might want to see is you might want to go to this present now and your entire screen. So if you're wanting to show the students something or teach them something, then this is where you would go. So, I've got somebody joining. All right, so if I wanted to show my students something in my Google Classroom, then now you would be able to see my Google Classroom and I could teach through this because I'm sharing my screen. So that would be a good point for that. If you decide that that's something that you would like to use, that's how you get there. When you're done showing your screen, you would just click stop presenting and it'll take it back to normal. I'm going to tell the students in their video that they are to mute themselves, which means they're just going to click on this button and turn their microphone off. The time, if they have a question, I'm going to tell them they need to type it in the chat box That way you're not hearing all these voices coming back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The few Google Meets that my kids have been in, it has been a bit crazy. And so I'm hoping that these etiquette videos will help with that. The last thing that I will say is, remember I sent out an email, when you leave a chat, they can still be in the chat, or if they leave, they can always rejoin. So what I'm going to tell the students is, when you exit them out, they're out and they do not need to come back in. So to get rid of the kids, what you might want to do is, if you hover over the people's names right here, there's going to be a little drop down arrow. And when you have that drop down arrow, you can click on it and it's going to be a little minus sign. And if you click the minus sign, it sends them out. So you might want to say, all right, everybody tell Emily goodbye. Bye. And then kick her out. All right, bye, Aubrey. Hit the minus sign, kick her out. And then once you've got all the kids out, you'll be the last one left in there. And then you need to leave the call. Okay, hopefully those are some tips that will help. Remember, you can always add in Encore teachers. You can add in Title I teachers to your Google Meets. I'm sure that they would, Encore or special ed teachers, I'm sure they would love to be part of your Google Meet. The counselor. So if there's somebody that you would like to come in with you on a meet, please reach out and we will be glad to help you come in and be able to talk and see the kids and work through this together. Good luck.